My name's Shonda Morton and I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I'm the CEO of Bountiful Buds Delight.
My name is Shani Street. I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey between 19th Avenue and 19th Street. I am the Chief Operating Officer of Bountiful Buds Delight.
My name is Nisi and I am the Chief Medical Officer of Bountiful Buds Delight, and I am from Newark, New Jersey.
So tell me about the history of how the application process is currently playing out here.
Okay, so basically Newark opened up the application process in December, which was a little ahead of the state even opening up applications in regards to cannabis applicants. And the application was mainly geared towards annual applicants, where we know that the CRC is definitely offering to conditional and annual applicants such things as the funding for the business that was required, having site control, which is not a requirement for a conditional applicant. So those were some of the things, that barriers that we were facing as we were doing the application process. And because we're a conditional applicant, we had to kind of figure out a way to submit some things just so that we can get our application in, just so that we can be in that pool, you know. And although we put ourselves in that pool, according to their guidelines, you know, we weren't able to meet everything that was on the application. They wanted bank accounts, they wanted address, leases, real estate, you know, and those were a lot of the things that wasn't really required for a conditional applicant. And that's what BBD is. We're a conditional applicant trying to break into this cannabis industry.
And so tell me, what do you think are some of the largest impediments to opening up a cannabis here in Newark?
I believe one of the biggest problems is real estate, the way the ordinances are set up. There's not enough real estate to choose to be an effective, successful business in the cannabis industry. The ordinances are all over the place. And I also think another key factor is funding. You know, we're not an MSO. You know, we're just a small company that's just trying to break into this cannabis industry. So I really truly believe that real estate and funding is one of our biggest hurdles that we're going to have to overcome.
As the Chief Medical Officer for the company, in our previous conversations, you've talked a lot about education. And specifically, you've talked about education for both young people and for old people. Go ahead and tell me what the differences and similarities in that education looks like.
Okay, well, for one thing, elderly people are very prone to what we call polypharmacy. So they take a lot of different medications, and there are some medications that are affected by cannabis. So being able to educate the elderly on those medications that they are taking that may be affected by cannabis, having them get a knowledge base of what it is they're taking, what form of cannabis would be best for them, because as you know, there are different forms of cannabis. They can either inhale it, they can actually take a tincture, or they can actually also have an edible. And depending on which form of that is going to affect the metabolism of their body with the medications that they are taking. A lot of older people also do not know the medications that they are taking, so being able to educate them on every single medication that they take and how it's going to affect them if they were to decide to do any medicinal or even just for pleasure of cannabis when they come into our facility, and giving them the education so they are safe with their use of the cannabis.
You know, it really puts a damper on it, because we've been in this process for over a year with just logistics and finances and, you know, making sure that we crossed our T's and dotted our I's to get to this point, and be disappointed because of a process that wasn't clear or created truly for the conditional social equity applicant. That's what we feel like going through this process. It sounds good, but on the ground, is it really happening?